7 Days to Die. Now, on console, this video is strictly for the console version. I won't really make any comparisons or anything like that. Won't make any parallels to the PC version. That's not what this video is. This is strictly for 7 Days to Die on the console, and why you should not buy it at full price. To be fair, the title is probably just gonna say don't buy it, but there's some things I'm gonna go into in this video. So on console, pretty sure right now, well, it's on sale right now, but on console in general, it's over £30, which is I think like $40, maybe $45 for this game on console. Don't pay that for it. Do not do that. That's my opinion for this game. Keep in mind before you put a comment saying of how good the game is or whatever. I've been playing it since it released on console and PC, and release is a strong word because I think it's still in early access. But I've been playing this game for years, and it's on console not improved. There is a reason for that. The publishing company, Telltale, shut down. They're gone, kaput. So fair enough in that front, but the fun pimps, the developers, could easily just source another publisher and get updates put out for it, but they've not done that. So, okay, parry from the future, mid-video edit parry. Turns out the fun pimps 2 days ago, the developers of the game, just tweeted out saying that they're doing work on the console version. Well, actually, it says we're doing early work on the new console version. So that's exciting, to be honest. The whole point of this video is being nullified. So, oh well. This video is going to be why you should not buy 7 Days to Die on console for full price. I would say the game is worth maximum of $11.99. I would say a push $9.99, but I think that's a bit low, to be honest, because although the game is wildly underdone, if that's a word, and although it's unbelievably unsupported on console and 100% abandoned, I still think for what it is, $9.99 is a bit cheap. So I would say $11.99 is a good price, pounds, GBP and all that. The reasons for this is that since 2016, when the game came out on console, I think it was June 30th, I think, 2016, the graphics still look the same today, and this is May 2022, so it's not really that optimal. Speaking of optimal, it's not optimized well at all. On Xbox One anyway, when I played it on that, because that's what I've mainly played it on, the load times were insanely long. You'd be sitting there literally for 2-3 minutes, sometimes 4, just waiting on it loading into the map. And that's just like the Naves game, it's called, which is a pre-made standard map that everything, whenever you go in, it's all the same. Not loot, I'm talking like the actual building models, the locations on the map, the water, the towns, all that, all the same map. It's just a map. On the random gen, it would take even longer, which is obviously just a randomly generated. So it's obviously just a randomly generated map. So that does obviously take a little bit longer to load in, which is understandable. That's fair, but it still takes a while to load in, which is kind of annoying. And the Xbox Series X is fine, to be honest. The loading times are fine on that. The SSD makes a huge difference, and no, I'm not going to make a comparison to the PC version, never mind. Loading time on the Series X is fine, because I was actually going to put this in the list yesterday, or last night when I was getting footage for it. The loading times suck, but then I loaded it up and it loaded fine, and I was like, oh well, that's the last time I really played this, it was in the Xbox One, so it's fine now on the Series X. Another thing to do with the graphics again, sort of, is the draw distance, where in a game like this, it's an open world survival game. 100 feet down the street, there might be a very important building, like a medical building, hospital, whatever, that has antibiotics. Now, you use antibiotics to cure the infection if you get infected. Hard to come by, But if you can see that there's a hospital 100 feet down the street, then you'll go to the hospital, probably get some antibiotics because it's a hospital. On Xbox, your draw distance is about, I'm trying to think, maybe like 30 feet, 40 feet if that, which is not great. It's you can see to. It's just not far. It's covered in fog. It's actually, in fact, a really good comparison. They seem to have done on Xbox or on console what Treyarch had to do for the Transit Zombies map in Black Ops 2. They loaded it with fog, so the device running it, the console running it, didn't have to put much effort into rendering everything at once. So on console, it looks like it's just fog everywhere. It's just the draw distance being shut down. Cut down. I think that's why they've done that, just to save on memory or something along those lines. Well, video memory, obviously. So the draw distance is a huge setback because I'm trying to walk around, and like earlier when I was playing it, I'm infected, so I need to find a hostel. I was looking around trying to find some things. I couldn't see anything. You have to walk right up to something to see what it is. Another situation I should be able to put on screen just now, if I remember. I was walking down the street, and all of a sudden, a horde of zombies, about, I'd say maybe, I don't know, 9 of them, 8, 9, just appeared in front of me, because I couldn't see them until I got close enough that they were right in front of me. So that's not great. It's a game where, it's a very, I would say, hardcore game, where if you don't know what you're doing, or make a mistake like that, like if I just kept walking, I'd be dead. There'd be nowhere to go. Like almost no way. I don't even have a base yet in it. I'm just walking around trying to find somewhere suitable for a base. So I'm just using offhand weapons, just random things that I can find around. I would be dead if I had to fight them. So there's that, and that's the gist of the draw distance issue I've got with it. It's just not great. They should be able to get another developer or publisher even. They should be able to get updates on their Xbox or their console version of the game. They should be able to make it as good as the PC version. Overall, the graphics are shit. Like, for a game that's been in development since I think 2014, maybe 15, but I'm pretty sure 2014, the game's graphics are horrible. Obviously 2016 is when the console version released, so technically I guess since 2016, but still, it's like a badly made Unity game by some indie dev who only does it in their spare time when they're not working at the local supermarket as a stalker of shelves, you know. it's atrocious. The anti-aliasing, I can never say that word, the anti-aliasing appears to just be non-existent in the game. Every item that you see will have obvious jagged edges, so it's quite off-putting. If you're a fan of graphics in a game, you will not like this game. If your vice in a game is that you get right immersed from how good it looks, you're not going to get immersed at all in this game. I will say that I get immersed in the game because I just like the gameplay, I like the concept of it, but the clunky combat, I mean it's a zombie game, so you're going to be fighting zombies and dogs, don't get me started on the dogs. The clunky combat and clunky controls in general, plus the lack of customization for the controls, is incredibly off-putting. Like earlier, I fought a dog. Off the rip, I threw a bed down. Obviously, if you put a bed down, that's your spawn. You can just spawn on the bed instead of some random location on the map, 700 miles away, or well, not miles, 700 feet away from your actual location that you died at. So I put a bed down, assuming I was going to get killed, because I often do. When you're that under-equipped to fight a dog, and the clunky controls, clunky animations, clunky combat, sometimes you'll swing and it won't actually land, sometimes you'll lunge for an enemy and it will lunge for you, but it'll end up behind you and hitting you from behind. It's annoying and weird. Managed to kill the dog. You should be able to see it on screen. Managed to actually win it, the fight, so I was fine with that. Just kept on going. But the controls are so unbelievably annoying for the game at times, and the general animation, performance, whatever, for the game when you're actually fighting zombies and enemies and stuff. There is a delay I've put here. There's a delay in the controls. There sort of is, where it's like the dead zone for the controller is set to a very high number. It's like the value is set really high, so you could like push the stick quite a distance before it actually registers that you're trying to look around. So if you've ever played with like, if you've ever played a Battlefield game, you'll know what I'm talking about. Like the default dead zone for that and whatnot, it's quite nuts. Where you'll look around and it sort of like boomerangs your aim around, and it's really annoying. So it takes a bit of getting used to, I suppose. Once you've gotten used to it, like me, it's still quite annoying. If you're trying to actually hit something, especially if you're trying to use a gun in the game, or just like a ranged weapon, like a bow, it's annoying, really annoying. Like you'll try and shoot. Like I never snap onto an infinite. I don't pull off any cheeky 360 no scopes, you know. I always just wait for the enemy to move into my line of sight and then shoot them. Because it's just ridiculous. The performance of the game is pretty bad. Every few minutes, if that, actually probably every minute or so, the frame you'll see a noticeable drop in frames because it's trying to load in. Again, it's trying to load in the environment. It's trying to load everything in because it can't pre-render everything, and it can't render more than 30-40 feet in front of you. So if you're walking, exploring somewhere, if you're trying to go somewhere, you're gonna be in for a bad time with the FPS because it drops significantly, and it's already capped at like what, I would say 60 because it's Series X, but I really don't think this game hits 60 FPS on console. Even on I have it on PS5, I don't think it hits 60. I think a generous guess would be 45 FPS for the game, and it's good times, like and at the best of times. But yeah, it's not great. The animations, lack of content is another thing I've got here, which is basically just no updates, no support, no anything for the game. There's no servers on it, I don't think. I haven't really tried playing online, but online was meant to be a big thing back in the day in the console version. It just wasn't. Oh no, well yeah, that's another game I'm thinking of. But lack of content is just one of the main things as well, to do with the updates really. Because the game doesn't get updated. The last update I think was in maybe December or something, 2016, maybe 2017, possibly. But that's a large push. I'm pretty sure the last time this game got a major update on console was 2016, and it released in 2016 on console. So just think about that. Which is annoying because playing it on, again, I'm not trying to make any comparisons, but playing it on PC and seeing what it could be is amazing. Like, for people that want to just play it casually or just have a console, don't have a game on PC, it is a fun game. You can do a lot in it. It can it can swallow up a lot of your time. Like, even me, like someone making a video on why you should buy it, I've spent hundreds of hours in the game on console because I'll sit down for it. I'll sit down with it for and be like, oh, I'll just play it for like 10 minutes and see what I can do. And then it's like 4 hours later and I'm like, oh, right, okay, well, whoops. And I only have like half a base done and like a wooden weapon still because it takes so long to load everything in. Nah, I'm kidding. But it's an alright game. I would say don't buy it at full price is the main gist of this video. Do not buy it at full price on console because it's over £30, which is ridiculous for this game. Wait for it to be on sale. Even at that, I think right now it's on sale for 16. I think it's 50% off. £16 is, it's not gonna be any cheaper than that anytime soon on console. So sure, why not get it at 16? But wait for it. If it was like a tenner, then absolutely go for it. There's a lot of stuff you can do in it, and due to the lack of updates, is actually a good thing. Where when you're creating items in the game, like tools and weapons, every time you make a new one, it will increase its level, which increases its which increases its effectiveness. So if you're making like a weapon and you break it or just scrap it, whatever, or hell, even just drop it and then make a new one, that new one will be a higher level than the one before. And sometimes it scales, sometimes it jumps like 2 or 3 levels at a time. So you could literally sit there, gather a bunch of wood, and then sit and make. I've done this before. You could just sit and make like 80, 100 of that weapon, and just it's like Skyrim's grind for creating knives, daggers, and that to level up your smithing skills. That's effectively what it is, which is great. The PC version doesn't have that. They have a different leveling system now, which I was kind of disappointed about, but it is what it is. That's like the only good thing about the lack of updates for the game is that it still has that feature in it, which is it's a pretty of a cheesy exploit of the game. But it's fun. I like that shit. So yeah, this is my video on why you should not buy 7 Days to Die on console at full price. And if you're gonna get it, just get it on PC. But I have it on console because achievements. But yeah, if this video was helpful at all, or if it was just interesting, entertaining, whatever, like it helps quite a lot. I just look through my likes in the videos, and every time I see one on it, I just like pop off a party popper, Kidding. But yeah, like the video, subscribe to the channel for more random content, and don't buy this game at full price on console.